Hi guys, hope you're doing well in this course. This is Loai with you from aeschoolonline.com. I'm very excited to have you in this section. I'm very excited to explain to you about masks, track mattes, and pre-composition that you will use to pop up text on your screen in so many ways. First, I'm gonna go through this lecture where I will explain about masks and their usage. And later on, we will develop slowly to be able to do some great and awesome animations that you will use everywhere. Masks are shapes, but they are different kinds of shapes. Let's have some examples. Let's use the rounded rectangle tool. I'm okay with the fill and so on, and create a shape. Now we create a shape layer that has a rectangle as its shape. That's it. Now if I choose the shape layer and I choose also the shape tool, you notice the option here is highlighted. I can either create a shape or create a mask. By default, it is create shape. If I use it, then I will have just another rectangle here, and we will see this in complex shapes. But if I choose create mask, I will be able to create a mask. Let's choose, for example, the star tool. I can click, press shift, for example. All the manipulation I showed you for creating shapes will work here. If I release now, my shape did not disappear. Here is my shape. You can see it on the blue border, but a mask has been created that's masking everything except the inner of the mask. That's one. This mask is like this. It shows only its inside because it's on add. If I put it on subtract, it will show the inverse. Also, if I have it on add and I use inverted, it will show all the shape layer, and inside there is just a hole. If you look at it, there is a hole. Now that's pretty interesting. Let's go through now editing this mask, and this is very important. Rule of thumb: if you choose your mask and mask 1, you will find that the corners or the nodes are squares. When they are squares, it means you can click on any one of them and move your mask. This is pretty important because later on you will start wondering, how do I manipulate the shape of the mask? To edit the mask, now you click just on the layer. You can see it now, they're turned into small circles and there is a big circle. If I click on any node, I can change the shape of the mask. Actually, I can give it any shape. Let's summarize this important point. So when you have circles, you are changing the nodes. You can move them around. Also, you can hold the side and move it out or in anywhere you want. That's the way to do it. Let's say you do that, and then you have a shooting star. But when you are having just rectangles, then you will be able to move the mask around. Cool. So that's very important, and you want to keep it in mind, the circles and the squares, how to edit a mask. Let's look at inside our mask. If we twirl down mask 1, you will find you have mask path, mask feathering, opacity, and expansion. I will give you an exercise and a very good example about how to use the expansion in the next lecture. For mask path, now you know the path is this colored line, or I don't know what color is it now here. We can change the color and make it very bright green, for example, or yellow. Here you are, now it's yellow. So the mask path is this yellow line. You can copy and paste this one, and also you can animate it. So let's animate this mask. I will keyframe the mask path. As we explained, the mask path is the yellow one. I'll move, for example, to 1 second, and I will start, for example, moving the mask. Let's move it to here and move these nodes. So I need to move the nodes. I will press on the layer. I'll move these nodes here, then go back and move the mask here, and also move more nodes to show you a good example. Okay, so this path, what will happen? You have a first vertex here, and here also you have a first vertex. It will take that first vertex and put it on the other first vertex. The first vertex is this big square. You can change it, by the way, but for now, just a simple explanation I can give you. It's an advanced level that we'll do later on. If you click on play, you will notice that the whole mask has moved. So it's not just one node or two, the whole thing will be moving. Here you are. This is how you animate a mask. You give it one state, another state. You can give it a third state, for example, coming over here. We can say, okay, this is my third state, something like this. Okay, and here you have 3 animations that will work together. Okay, this node has jumped, no problem. So this is how you animate your mask. It's very important that you have a good understanding of that. Let's go to feathering. You can see feathering here. If you feather, you will have some kind of blur from the inside and the outside. That's the feathering, how it operates. Sometimes it's extremely good, we will use it. The opacity, you know what this is, and the expansion. Let's take an example about the expansion. I will delete this mask, and simply I delete just a node. I will delete the masks altogether. Okay, and I will take a circle, draw a mask, click for example in the middle, and here you are. Now I can come to the mask, keyframe the expansion here, go to 1 second for example, and make the expansion negative or nil, something like this. Notice what's happening. You have a circle that's growing. That's very cool. If you take the feathering up, now you have even a nicer shape going down. You can invert the keyframes, and you have a nice growing one that is very beautiful. You notice the flaring in. You can also move your mask, like we said. We come to mask 1, and we can move it here to center it, make it a bit smaller. To size the mask or to use a free transform, you can double click on the mask, and you have the free transform that you can scale down, for example, move, and also you can rotate if you like. This is a circle, it doesn't make sense, but nevertheless it can work. Here you are now, you have created a very nice pop-up. If you come back here and say this is 0 or negative, whatever, here you are. You see it is a very nice animation. Whoop. Cool. Now you have pop-ups. Beautiful. Let's make the timing in between. I press alternate and move them. And notice now you have, disco lights. Thanks for being with me in this lecture. In the next lecture, we're going to apply masks to text.